So we're here on Tundra today with this best of one game for the community challenge between Flutters, here in the pink, top side of the map, against Dimi. So it's a battle of South America, as Flutters is from Paraguay and Dimi is from Brazil. So it would actually probably be a very low latency game if it wasn't for the fact that I'm from Australia. So we're here on Tundra, a map designed by Erie. I think it came out in 2019 or 2020, so it's been out for a couple of years now. And it's a good macro map because there's a lot of water for the players to do some fishing. The potential for a proxy dock because you're quite exposed on that waterline in that regard, the shoreline there. And there is actually quite chokeable sort of passes here, as there are these passages both sides of the map here, as well as in the middle, so you can sort of wall up this quite easily. And there's actually these neutral war leaders that are quite strong, quite difficult to kill, chaos units. They can actually be converted, so it's not something we've really seen a lot of. So starting out, Flutters is going for 2 storehouses. Dimi only on the 1 because he wants to go for an early barracks here. So not looking to commit to an early dock. Just got to get so many villagers on that hunt. Try and maintain the spear production here. Also put his early wood towards the storehouse and some houses. So Flutters is going to be able to probably just either age up and get town centre, or go for the dock and an age up. So town centre looks to be the decision. Starting stone gathering there. Just got enough wood income to possibly go for the dock at some point soon. I suppose age up and then dock possibly. Dimi might look to dock behind this barracks, or even just age up as quickly as possible and also go for town centre and age 2 units. Spearman really about to engage. Trying to get some first blood here. The Flutters. Loom is on the way already actually. Villagers not going to stay and fight. Flutters going to go for the berries now. Look at getting picker's gloves. Even though Flutters has already had to make the commitment for hunting dogs. Well, Dimi not being able to get hunting dogs so far, having to really commit to the barracks. It really eats up all your early game wood. You can put towards all that utility with eco upgrades. Right now, this is going to slow down Flutters' food income at the moment by 0.4, which is pretty hefty. Bearing in mind, Flutters is still going to be able to hit age 2 and get a town centre slightly faster. Dimi stopping spearman production here. It's going all the way up to 4 houses though. No, he's actually going to start spearman production again. Go on the stone mine. So we're actually going up to a 4th house before going to age up. As Celt, you need to get 3 to actually take your bronze age, which is 100 food cheaper. I mean, no, sorry, 100 resources cheaper at 300 food compared to the regular civ age up. Templar Ra, for instance, is 200, 400, and the other civs, you know, they just get the age up upgrade out of the town centre. Other than Bad Ziggurat being the same cost as this Templar Ra. So Dimi's got a good number of spears here with Flutters. Good job, just trying to kite with the scout, really prevent the spears from trying to just take an easy dive, because those Celt spearmen don't have any pierce armor, don't have a huge health pool. They're a really quick, high damage spear. At the same time, the Egyptian scout and the Norse range scout in particular, quite good at chipping away at them. And you know, the town centre fire as well. They don't really prevent Dimi from pushing in too far because Flutters isn't overextending at all here. You're going for that second town centre, so fairly safe, fairly good early timing here. You can put it maybe near the wood line here and secure space to get a dock, or put it straight on this storehouse. I mean, on this hunt where the storehouse used to be. So 6 villages and the priestess committing to that. So these days, when you get your Temple of Ra as Egypt, you're going to get a priestess for free. The same with Temple of Set, Temple of Ptah, they're going to give you the appropriate priest unit out of those, provided that you got a population space to fit them out. So it won't send you over your population cap, it just won't build it. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, it's a nice little boost for the early game for Egypt, who originally they'd have to spend the extra 100 gold for the priestess, and they'd usually be starting the town centre before it's even finished training, so they really reap a bit more benefit out of that now. Flutters going to go for a barracks. Dimi's going to switch to longsword production. A healthy spear count at the moment. Dimi on 23 villages and Flutters on 24. Dimi just got to make sure he maintains this villager production here, while Flutters obviously only second town centre. Dimi's going to go for his as well, but already started in that 2 villager production, so going to be able to sneak out another couple more over Dimi while this is being built. He does obviously have that slight advantage in terms of the overall military. Oh, but the boar stood on top of where the town centre was supposed to be, and Dimi hasn't realised this. And now it looks as though he's spending all the wood that he was going to spend on the town centre there, so this is really dangerous for him. He probably shouldn't have built those. He should have just repositioned the town centre over here, or used the villagers or some of this army to try and kite the boar out of that spot there. So this is pretty big, because now he's going to have to wait for 400 wood. So in the meanwhile, Flutters 31 villagers to Dimi's 25. Dimi already on the water eco with that dock, so he's able to sneak in a couple of fishing boats. These obviously worth a little bit more per population than a villager, but at the same time twice the cost, so they are going to take a little bit longer to pay back still. But yeah, it's a big blow to Dimi. He was really hoping to have a nice second town centre transition there, and instead he's sort of overcommitted to his early game production here. Now he's sort of really forced to put a bit of pressure on Flutters before she can get a good critical mass and defend. So now second stables coming out, already on that 1 barracks, 1 stables. Not constant military production at the moment, so needing a little bit more food and banking a bit of wood. So I wonder if she's going to go for a second dock, or just even add possibly another production building here. So he's starting on that water eco now, or Dimi. So only on 2 fishing boats. He's been on that for a little while, hasn't taken net lures just yet, so he's probably best off maybe adding another boat and getting net lures. And now his second town centre is on the way, but he's trailing by 13 villages at 41 to 28 at the moment, which is pretty rough, because Flutters setting up for a pretty quick age 3 here. Temple of Set is a little bit exposed, but there's plenty of villages to help force it up quickly. There's another stables on the way. Dimi still has plenty of spears, but Flutters is going to have access to chariots once this finishes up, so that'll really force Dimi to have to get either slingers or go to age 3 himself, because those chariots be pretty solid against both types of infantry, countered by neither. While the stables, you know, for now, a little bit of a dead weight with that many spears in that Celt army ball. Obviously, if it's like 90% upwards, longswordsmen, the camels are nice, because, you know, longswordsmen can attack them while your axemen tear down the longswords and you pull ahead in terms of the countering. But yeah, with that many spears, although Dimi's not really producing anymore, he's just committing to longswords. With that many spears, it's just not really worth running in with unupgraded camels. It's just going to get chopped up. So Flutters, nice. Stables, chariot transition here, but that third stables is going to fall. There is still another 2. So there's still going to be good chariot archer production, but losing a production building is never a nice thing to have happen. But Dimi still trailing a little bit on eco at 36 to 51 at the moment. Flutters just going to go for a dock. Dimi still hasn't really expanded any water eco here, which I'm a little surprised about because Celts can really pull ahead with that. I mean, I suppose any early Civ going for a food dependent start could. It's a nice catch by Dimi though. Unfortunate for Flutters. 2 pink villagers going down and a fair few more taking a bit of damage. The villager falling there, but there's an army to try and turn this around, although it is overextending a little bit. And Chariot Archer is going to get picked off straight away, which is very smart by Dimi, because it's going to be the thing that can really tear his army apart here. Because there's no champion upgrade on the Axemen yet, so they're not doing their area damage. And Flutters hasn't got any armory upgrades at the moment yet either. Neither does Dimi. So a range for Dimi. He wants to sit in age 2 a little bit longer, I think. In fact, he's committing to 4 ranges already, so it's going to be quite expensive. He's going to have to put a good number of villagers on his food here and still have a reasonable number on gold. So obviously both the slingers and his longswords are going to be costing gold. He's able to deny that hunt of Flutters. He's keeping tabs on the berries over the other side of Flutters' base. So Flutters really being forced into having to rely on the water now and farms for food income, while also being committing to these Chariot Archers, which are both high wood cost, high gold cost, and 3 population. Wheelbarrow Flutters. Dimi also getting wheelbarrow right now. So he's getting a good number of techs here. Dimi's 3rd age now on the way actually, so he has got some slingers, but he's taking that 3rd age a little quicker than I thought he was going to here, and it looks like he might try switch to bowman. He's got a couple of druids in the mix, so it looks like he's going for that big Celt backline with the druid damage bonus. It's a really nice combo. You see a lot of players use. Other players really gone for a massive water eco, but now Dimi adding the 3rd fishing boat, and he is going to get net lures. I mean, you can add another dock and even get another fishing boat or 2. It's been a nice catch here by Dimi because Flutters is going for this 3rd town centre. But there's an army here that was patrolling those berries. We should catch one of the villagers and prevent that going up. So Dimi going to age 3 now. Engagement right now. Dimi starting to add road raiders into the mix, which will be good against these chariots. Let's have plenty of slingers as well, although it looks like they're just targeting the front line. They're not focusing down the chariots, and Flutters is doing a good job at just making sure they're not taking any damage, just letting the Axemen be a meat shield, but they don't have champion upgrade at the moment, which would be really nice. But area splash and the extra health. These longswords also still lacking their champion upgrade for the moment, so they get the benefit of a lot of armor, infantry, pierce, and splash. So it's nice against both the area damage and the normal attack there from the Axemen, as well as the chariots. So it's a big bonus to them all round. And the additional loads is going to mean Flutters is going to have to be really careful with those chariots because the charge and the bonus damage, eat those up. We're going to start walling up now. Flutters adding a market. It's near all the town centres though, so I guess it's just more of a safe market, and the idea is to maybe get an age 4 market up here, or add another market over here and just use it, you know, for caravan production and just being able to trade resources somewhere. But Dimi actually doesn't really have a lot of woads. Probably begun to add some already. It's only got a pair of them there. Flutters up to 2 docks now. I'm really going to start pumping out the fishing boats. Dimi also adding some more fishing. It's an interesting spot for the fight to go down. Definitely, like Flutters is going to have to back it up here. Not much of a front line left at the moment, but well prepared to kite with 20 chariot archers plus there. And he's got a good number of bowmen, but not a huge amount of woads nor slingers, so fighting to those chariots is a pretty risky decision at the moment. And Flutters up in overall population, 90 villages, 90 army, got 71 villages and 75 army here for Dimi, so he's starting to trail a little bit in that regard, getting his Bard Hall upgrades, these unique Celt upgrades. He's also going to start Sacred Grove deer production here for the herdable gathering. The Flutters now. Finding it tough to stick around because with the woads and the combined mixed range army there, it's really tough for these chariots to stand still here. They're doing their best, but a lot of them are falling now. Flutters getting more axemen, but really needs to get that champion upgrade. So I want to start getting some more armory upgrades. Armor H3, oh H2, and range damage H2. Dimi actually lacking armory upgrades completely at the moment. That's just Celts for you. Nah, kid. He's done well with his army comps here, but yeah, he really needs to start adding these armory techs at the moment. But he's actually 10 eco pop down, and it's a potential to be 10 army pop up here in fights. He's going for a little raid with these wide raiders while having to back off with his main armies. Walled up though, so Flutters is being patient. They're trying to push into this. Camel's trying to take down that wall, but going to take a bit of damage from the Celt range there. Dimi not getting a huge amount done with the woads just yet. So you got to keep Flutters out of his base here. Here we go, the woads are going to start moving now. Well, Flutters seem to get pushed forward at the moment. There's not much of a front line left here for Dimi, so he's going to have to retreat with that range ball. Flutters is trying to go for a defensive fortress here. Guard resources left here. There's not a huge amount of gold there though. I think all these villages might end up being taken out here. Yeah, so Flutters is not going to be able to finish off that fortress there. There's a number of villas going down there. I think that's about 10 or 11 overall. As well as all these gold mine villages, so it's even more on Flutters at the moment, taking out some of Dimi's villages, so he's down to 85. Flutters is down to 74 actually, so Flutters is taking a bit more of a beating overall in terms of the eco behind this, and that fortress is going to be denied. Flutters hasn't got any other fortresses yet, I don't think, so Dimi's just wedging his army between his production buildings, just relying on the fact that he's got a little bit more range. His composition, I think, here. What have we got the same? There's not more overall ranged units there though. You can stack them up tightly. It can be very tough for Flutters to actually keep pushing into that, while Flutters, in the meantime, they defend against the Woads. Axemen obviously counter them, especially with that champion upgrade, but the Woads are going to outrun them. Flutters is able to keep pushing forward. I don't know how much further, because there are a bunch of slingers still in the mix there, and some horsemen and Woads as well. Looks like Flutters might have been able to finally clean up that little axeman ball. 70 eco pop versus 90 for Dimi at the moment. These camels probably don't need to engage here. Dimi, the Woads, maybe overextending? There we go, the whole army's engaging now. There's not really anything to take down these camels all that efficiently here for Dimi, so Flutters... Oh, here we go. There are some spears coming through. Also axemen there for Flutters, and don't forget those chariots do hit quite hard against infantry. They don't get any explicit bonus to anything, but they just got high base damage, and neither infantry nor ranged have a particularly large health pool. Things are slowing down again, it seems. The players have had a bit of an addition to their water ecos through all this as well. Dimi up to 94 economy population. Flutters on 70. Maxed out overall population here. No elephants in play yet though, so really needs to look at transitioning to a fortress or 2 or 3 behind this. We'll be able to break this Celt army ball, I think. Don't see anything in the way of fortresses here for Flutters yet. Forward production, forward barracks is starting up, but I mean, if you're going to go into this effort, you might as well just go for a forward fortress possibly. Although it looks like Dimi starting to really run out of front line here, struggling for food a little bit, and for gold. Flutters, nice spread of resources in the bank at the moment, while Dimi really banking up wood and not a huge amount of the other resources at the moment. 26 vills to 70 though. Dimi is going to have the smaller army, but more resources coming in here though. Flutters is going to be able to start producing right on Dimi's doorstep here. Store's pretty much locked up overall. Dimi also has that watch post here, so I wonder if he's going to go for a snipe at all at the top there. Retreating to the cover of the town centres. It's quite safe here. Flutters again, poking the bear. War barracks finishing up here. Possibly could start adding some slingers, but I really think getting a fortress and going for some war elephants would be quite nice here for the Egyptian player. Well, Dimi back against the wall, trying to push out. Not a huge amount of front line here. Starting to slip in terms of overall population. Doesn't look like anything's happening out on the map to relieve any of this pressure at the moment. This is a great base layout. Lovely Sim City here. He's able to just keep backing it up and minimizing his losses here. It's tough for these camels and the axes to extend in here though. But bearing in mind the axeman damage, the splash damage is going to be able to hit more units in these tight chokes. Dimi running for his life at the moment, so I think Flutters may have done it here. It's a lot of axemen in production and they're not very far away, bearing in mind with those forward built barracks. Dimi, a lot of defensive towers now. He's got a very defensive base at the moment, and he may be able to hold off here because Flutters have to spend a lot of resources here. There's no sign of age 4 for either player at the moment, and Dimi still has 82 eco pop, still leading Flutters in that regard. I'm just having to go to forward tower now, trying to take out some of these guard towers as well. But Dimi's not really able to hit a critical mass of an army and turn this around, running out of food right now, so this is going to be very tough. Just had spears in production there, but then cancelled them. GG, Flutters takes the game.